So you mentioned The Plague by Camus. There's a lot of different ways to read that book, but one of them, especially given how it was written, is that the plague symbolizes Nazi Germany and the Hitler regime. What do you learn about human nature from a figure like Adolf Hitler, that he's able to captivate the minds of millions, rise to power, and pull in the whole world into a global war?
I was born 9 years after the end of World War II, and I grew up in a generation that was, with my parents who were fixated on that, what happened. And my father, at that time, the resolution in the minds of most Americans, and I think people around the world, is that there had been something wrong with the German people. That the Germans had been particularly susceptible to this kind of demagoguery and to following a powerful leader and to industrializing cruelty and murder. And my father always differed with that. My father said, "This is not a German problem. This can happen to all of us. We're all just inches away from barbarity. And the thing that keeps us safe in this country are the institutions of our democracy, our Constitution. It's not our nature. Our nature has to be restrained, and that comes through self-restraint. But it also, the beauty of our country is that we devise these institutions that are designed to allow us to flourish, but at the same time, not to give us enough freedom to flourish, but also create enough order to keep us from collapsing into barbarity." So, one of the other things that my father talked about from when I was little, he would ask us this question: if you were the family and Anne Frank came to your door and asked you to hide her, would you be one of the people who hid her at risk to your own life, or would you be one of the people who turned her in? And of course, we would all say, well, of course, we would hide Anne Frank and take the risk. But, that's been something, kind of a lesson, a challenge that has always been near the forefront of my mind, that if a totalitarian system ever occurs in the United States, which my father thought was quite possible, he was conscious about how fragile democracy actually is, that would I be one of the ones who would resist the totalitarianism, or would I be one of the people who went along with it? Would I be one of the people who was at the train station in, Krakow or even Berlin, and saw people being shipped off to camps, and just put my head down and pretend I didn't see it, because talking about it would be destructive to my career and maybe my freedom and even my life. So, that has been a challenge that my father gave to me and all of my brothers and sisters. And it's something that I've never forgotten.
A lot of us would like to believe we would resist in that situation, but the reality is most of us wouldn't. And that's a good thing to think about. That human nature is such that we're selfish, even when there's an atrocity going on all around us.
And we also, we have the capacity to deceive ourselves. And all of us tend to kind of judge ourselves by our intentions and our actions.